Clinician.
I said yes to loving me. I said yes to being in a relationship with me. I said yes to being in peace and not broken into pieces. Y'all are so hard on us women for saying we're single and we loving it. You can be married and still feel like you're single. As a matter of fact, that's worse. To be in a relationship with a man or a woman that you can't stand. And y'all start living separate lives. He's doing his thing, coming in when he wants to. You doing your thing, coming in when you want to. But y'all just married on paper.
I know I've been quiet for a minute, I've been grinding, still in it, I've been counting these digits, excuse me. I know I've been quiet for a minute, but I'm back on my business. If you see me, don't trip, just excuse me. Wrong if I do, wrong if I don't. That's why I do me no matter what, so excuse me. Lie if I do, lie if I don't. The proof is in the story, take a seat and excuse me. The crash came when the cash came. Spend it before you get it like those rookies all on draft day. For the love like it's match game. Hit the ground running, really do it for my last name. They act different when the facts change. I'm not with the tip for tag games. In my own league, I don't chase game. In my own league, I don't hang with lanes. I know I've been quiet for a minute, I've been grinding, still in it, I've been counting these digits, excuse me. I know I've been quiet for a minute, but I'm back on my business. If you see me, don't trip, just excuse me. Wrong if I do, wrong if I don't. That's why I do me no matter what, so excuse me. Lie if I do, lie if I don't. The proof is in the story, take a seat and excuse me. Now how could that be? Talking about who can be talking about me? Feeling like Stretch where I got all this reach. Feeling too blessed when I step on these beats. Now how could that be? I could beat the pressure, I could beat the 2-3. Jab, jab, hook, then I duck and I weave. It was never you, it was me versus me. I know I've been quiet for a minute, I've been grinding, still in it, I've been counting these digits, excuse me. I know I've been quiet for a minute, but I'm back on my business. If you see me, don't trip, just excuse me. Wrong if I do, wrong if I don't. That's why I do me no matter what, so excuse me. Lie if I do, lie if I don't. The proof is in the story, take a seat and excuse me. Better up, get some, swinging for the fences, I might leave it in the sun. Every pitch a home run. Stack a couple tickets just to leave it to my son. Take it back where I begun. Small city kid, couldn't dream a bigger one. A marathon, never run. Check the scoreboard, how I'm feeling like I won. I know I've been quiet for a minute, I've been grinding, still in it, I've been counting these digits, excuse me. I know I've been quiet for a minute, but I'm back on my business. If you see me, don't trip, just excuse me. Wrong if I do, wrong if I don't. That's why I do me no matter what, so excuse me. Lie if I do, lie if I don't. The proof is in the story, take a seat and excuse me.
Fire for your mind. Kosher Clinician.
Aside to become the Kosher Clinician, the story and the war cry behind the Kosher Clinician was similar to some of the struggles and the pains I have been through as a man. And some of you men are still going through that right now. There's a philosophical term called an existentialist crisis. Basically what that means is that you begin to ask yourself the question, why am I existing? What is the purpose of my existence? And I think that's the story of a lot of men that have not been more or less raised or under the tutelage of masculine men. One of the greatest indictments, guys, about the manosphere is that people assert and assume that the manosphere pushes misogyny and hate. But the manosphere is not responsible and was created a silo as an affront to women or black women. But the manosphere was responsible to the pain and suffering that many black men were going through and continue to go through as we speak now. Once again, Jericho, we are going through an existential crisis. Our country is in trouble. Some of you are in trouble mentally, physically, and emotionally. And you're not ready to move to higher ground until you get the requisite help that's going to help you become the better version of yourself.
Real men put the strap down and we can toss them. This is our culture. Now we talking kosher. Clinician. All right.
There it is.
All right.
Now hit it for me.
And it ain't culture. 7 in hell is what they taught you. We'll put them, and you can back up in young doses. Kosher. Clinician.
All right, stop that. All I want you to say is, if it ain't 7, it ain't kosher. Say that first, okay?
All right.
All right, you ready?
Start over?
Yeah, start it.
No. Okay, if it ain't 7, it ain't kosher, and...
If it ain't 7, it ain't culture.
Okay.
Heaven and hell is what they taught you.
Okay, perfect. Do that again, but give me a little attitude. If it ain't 7, it ain't culture.
All right.
Okay, you ready?
Mm-hmm.
And action.
Young heads picking back up in young dolphin. This is our culture. Now we talking kosher. Clinician. That was cool.
If it ain't 7, it ain't kosher. Heaven and hell, that's what they taught you. Real men put the strap down and we can toss them. Young heads picking back up in young dolphins. This is our culture. Now we talking kosher. Clinician, masculinity issues, absent fathers who miss you, mama drama don't kiss you, all a part of the ritual, this is how they get you, separate the men, women clipping babies pretend to, damn, lovers, haters acting like vultures, if it ain't 7, it ain't kosher, if it ain't kosher, ain't right, gotta divorce us, if it ain't 7, it ain't kosher, if it ain't kosher, ain't right, gotta divorce us, if it ain't 7, it ain't kosher, if it ain't kosher, ain't right, gotta divorce us. This is Kosher Condition. 7 wonders, the whole world gotta listen. This is Kosher Condition. 7 wonders, the whole world gotta listen. This is Kosher Condition. 7 wonders, the whole world gotta listen. This is Kosher Condition. 7 wonders, the whole world gotta listen. Listen.
All right, guys, if y'all can hear me, hit one, guys. If y'all can hear me, please hit 1. This is going to be a short show because I got to go out of town tomorrow. Then I'm going to see the East Carolina Pirates play football. And I got another show for you guys coming up on Sunday. But I want to thank you guys for the 6 of the watching. Guys, share the stream. But this show is extremely important because she can love you in 2025 and beyond. And we're going to talk about the 4 archetypes, guys. The 4 archetypes of modern women in 2025 that do not exude the proper qualities for loving a man. And while we know, guys, there are some quality women that are good women, they're equitable women, they're respectful. One could argue that for the most part, it's hard to find women that love men. What's that? Give me a minute. Give me 1 minute. Give me 1 minute. But anyway, it's hard to find women that can love a man and to love a man from a pure heart and from a place that can build legacies and build families. And I'm going to tell you, I'm going to more or less explain to you guys on today why the typical modern woman cannot love you and what you need to look for and how you need to move accordingly. All right, so thank you to the 8 that are watching, guys. Share this stream. Support the channel, guys. Show me some love, please. These numbers are down on tonight, man. I feel like I'm talking to myself on tonight. Maybe I need to talk to myself, man. Maybe I just need to talk to myself, guys. But do me a favor, guys. Share the stream, please. And also donate to the channel. And guys, we can get active in 1 minute. We're going to get active in a minute. I got a good show coming up on Sunday as well. I'm going to have Elder Rhyme on the show, and we're going to be breaking down the leaven of the Pharisees. I told you guys there are 7 steps to male optimization. There are 7 steps to male optimization. The first step is family. Family is important not only to the sustainability of society, but also to male masculinity. Then is faith. Even though faith now has been watered down for the sake of money and lucre, faith is important. You can't have strong families without faith. The third one is female psychology. Many young men, including myself, have been conditioned to see women through the lens of benevolence instead of seeing women for what they are. Are there noble, good women that are left? Sure. But is it enough to more or less start a whole new revolution for true masculine men that want masculine women? I would say no. The last one is finances. Your finances is important to help you become the best version of yourself. Then there's mental health, physical health, and then there's politics. But the typical modern woman cannot love you. She's not equipped to love you because she struggles with emotional unavailability. She struggles with accountability. She struggles with the lack of being grounded by her elders. And also, she struggles with being imprinted by multiple men. And these are the 4 types of women that you need to run away from because they cannot give you what you're looking for as a man in modern times in 2025 and beyond. According to some studies, by 2030, 45% of women are going to be single and childless. And sadly, because of their decisions of putting career first and minimizing the importance of men and minimizing the importance of masculinity, they're going to suffer, guys, the recompense of their error. I did a short, condensed version of this show where I did some reaction, and I want to put that up at some point. But guys, do me a favor if you like what I'm doing, share the stream, donate to the channel, because content creation is a lot of work. It's a lot of work editing and putting this stuff together. I want to start doing content where I don't have to work as hard because I'm a busy man, and putting content together, guys, it's a lot of work, man. So to those that have donated and supported the channel in the past, I really appreciate it. So let's get into it, guys. And thank you to the 11 now that are watching. And I'm going to explain to you the 4 types why she can't love you in 2025. So let's get this.
I said yes to loving me. I said yes to being in a relationship with me. I said yes to being in peace and not broken into pieces.
And while that's not bad in itself for this woman to love herself, this woman said from a prior clip that she tired of cooking for a man, she tired of cleaning for a man, she tired of washing his clothes. And let me tell you guys something. Being in a relationship is hard work. It's not easy. If you don't come into a relationship with the heart of a servant and having a mind to serve one another, you're not ready for a relationship. A lot of people come into relationships with a condition called anxious avoidant attachment. An anxious avoidant attachment is a person that may have porous boundaries, but at the same time, they are very avoidant, meaning they don't commit themselves 100% into the relationship. So an anxious avoidant attachment is somebody got 1 foot in, 1 foot out, but they're not 100% dedicated to the process and dedicated to the sustainability of the relationship. And so you got a generation of women that don't want to work. They're highly narcissistic. They're lazy. They don't value masculinity. They don't value family. They only value their feelings and what they deem to be important. But many lie to themselves because human beings are made for companionship. And while she's partially right, about you can be in a relationship and be lonely, that's true. That comes with inner healing and not coming into a relationship expecting another person to be. It's nice to hear somebody There's no doubt. Thank you, Shangling 22. I appreciate that, brother. But it's important because, how can I say it? It's important because there's nuance to the conversation, and many times people don't add nuance to the conversation. Marriage is beautiful. It's one of the most beautiful things in the world. But if you haven't done the inner healing coming into a relationship, if you haven't been taught from your mother and the elders in your communities, then you come into a relationship with entitlement, narcissistic traits, solipsistic tendencies, and you don't come into the relationship with a heart to serve a man, or the man come into the relationship to serve the woman. Many times I see in therapy where men lose their integrity, they lose their sovereignty as men, because they come into relationships where they cannot properly equivocate a relationship that's balanced for them and the female. Uh, but there are 4 types of women that are not equipped to be in modern dating and relationships. And you need to know what to look for. Women that always talk about their needs. They say words like diva, queen, I'm doing me, um, uh, partner, no man is telling me what to do, we are equal and all that nonsense. A lot of times those women are not equipped and fit to come into a relationship and serve. And also they're not equipped to build a legacy and also to build a family. A lot of these women that say they don't want a relationship with a man, it's really what I call a faux pas, or what I call a quasi truth. They're not really telling the whole truth, because even though they don't want a relationship that holds them accountable and makes them work, they still want some of the benefits of a relationship in the form of sex, companionship, and whatnot. So a lot of these women, guys, do a lot of double talk. They do a lot of double talk, meaning they want the benefits of relationships, but they don't want to put in the work where the man is being benefited at the same time.
Y'all are so hard on us women for saying we're single and we loving it. You can be married and still feel like you're single. As a matter of fact, that's worse. To be in a relationship with a man or a woman that you can't stand, and y'all start living separate lives. He's doing his thing, coming in when he wants to. You doing your thing.
And I'm going to argue, guys, the reason why a lot of relationships don't work now because both parties many times have too much experience. A lot of these women have too much experience when it comes down to relationships. They have too much experience, and so a woman that had a lot of experience, whether it be through sex, multiple relationships, get into a relationship with a guy, she can get easily bored, and therefore she's not dedicated to the process of that said relationship and building and also helping that person become the best version of themselves. Marriage can be beautiful when you get with somebody that you really want, somebody that was your select choice, not somebody that you settled for, or some of the women that project that they deserve better, they really don't deserve better. Because people always assume that women are settling, but a lot of men are settling as well. And so it's important to have low experience come into relationships, limited experience, whether it be with travel or intimate sexual relationships. It's important. And so a lot of these women come into relationships because they are bored. They get bored when they get with these men, and some of the men have too much experience as well. They really don't have anything to offer. The sexual revolution did a lot of damage to relationships instead of doing good. And that's why these type of women can't be loyal in a relationship. Once again, emotionally unavailable, too much fun sexually, uh, have not been socialized to serve, and they're highly selfish and highly narcissistic. And these are the issues that destroy relationships and also destroy the importance of having healthy homes and healthy situations overall. And you're beginning to see it more so now, sadly, than ever before.
Coming in when you want to. But y'all just married on paper. But soon as a single woman is really truly single, no attachment, no, not married, not in a relationship, a committed relationship. That doesn't mean we don't go out and date, or have intimacy.
And you see my point, guys? They want the benefits of being married, but they don't want none of the responsibility. They want intimacy. They want to spend your money. They want They want all the benefits of a marriage, but they don't want to put in the work. And that's why it's so hard, guys, in this day and age now, to find people that are consistent and dedicated to the marriage process or the marital process, and those that are dedicated to building strong families and strong communities. I would argue those days are over with. It's hard to find it. I'm not against marriage per se, but I don't recommend men get married in modern times unless she's the type of woman that's been raised and conditioned to serve and honor a man. And the man benefits and the woman benefits. I believe in men and women both benefiting in marriages. But sadly, what you tend to see a lot now is only one party benefiting, and it causes a lot of stress in dating. It causes a lot of stress in relationships, and also it causes a lot of men to suffer internally on the inside because they're not getting their needs met. Relationships are about symmetry and everybody working together as a team. But a lot of these modern women, these women in dating relationships, they don't understand the importance of such.
Or even have a companion that we talk to from time to time. We just enjoy doing things where we ain't got to be bothered with somebody else's BS. It's as simple as that.
How about you help me find a husband?
It ain't
And
the
sometimes,
oldest. It ain't.
and sometimes, guys, it's not about dealing with somebody else's BS. And you know what I find weird and baffling, and it goes for men and women both. People complain about the people that they select. You select emotionally unavailable people. You select people that don't believe in relationships and the dynamics of relationships. You select men and women that are toxic and broken, and then you complain about it, and you get frustrated about people that have those same type of behaviors. As I said before, when you get in a relationship, you have to be emotionally available. You have to make sure that you've done the internal work and the internal healing. You have to make sure you have a heart of a servant for one another. And also, you have to make sure that you don't have a lot of fun and experience. A lot of these relationships are not working because the people have had too much fun and they have too much experience in relationships. And all that play a role in the evolution of healthy relationships. It all plays a role. And so you can't be the best version of yourself and come into a relationship with balance if you have too much fun coming in. And that's what's happening a lot now, is too many women with too much fun coming into relationships.
The youngest. It's the treatment. It's not the oldest.
And guys, this goes back to what I said a few minutes ago about the anxious avoidant attachment style. It goes back to what I said a few minutes ago about the anxious avoidant attachment, meaning they have porous boundaries on one end where they're very anxious, and they're looking for validation. A lot of you men are looking for validation. A lot of you men, your self-esteem is low. But then on the flip side, they're avoidant, meaning they got a wall up. That's called having very rigid boundaries. And so it's very schizoid when you have porous boundaries and also when you have very rigid boundaries all combined.
Amber. It's not the good looking one, Amber. It's not the one got money, Amber. It's the one honest.
And not too many of them honest nowadays.
It's some good men out there. But
And I will argue, guys, when it comes down to, are there some men that are not quality men that hurt women and cause chaos and get women pregnant and not take care of their family and their kids? Yes. Do I think that's a large percentage of men? No. I think I would say more or less men have always consistently been held accountable for their behavior for the most part. And I will argue that most men are better equipped to serve, even though they're not necessarily equipped to lead, than women are equipped to serve a man in a relationship. too much entitlement, too much selfishness, too many narcissistic tendencies, too many narcissistic traits, too much me, myself, and I, not enough service to one another, seeing servitude as a form of slavery, not understanding that the greatest gift a man can give a woman is his life. And so once again, these 4 types are women that you should avoid in 2025. Highly selfish, highly narcissistic tendencies, emotionally unavailable, highly promiscuous, and women that don't understand the importance of biblical authority and biblical mandates. These women do not qualify, guys, 2025 and moving forward. And while I know that there are men that don't believe in the faith, that's fine. Men tend to adhere to biblical archetypes and ideas because those biblical archetypes and ideas bring forth balance and rationality for men. That's why men tend to, whether they live by the Bible, they embrace certain tenets of the Bible because it adds to masculinity and add to masculine clarity. But the typical modern American woman is not equipped to be a wife, and she does not deserve to have your last name as a man because they don't believe in service. They don't believe in serving you. They come in with a state of entitlement. They come in with what's called paranoid persecution. They come in thinking by default that they deserve the best and that you should serve them without having reciprocity or reciprocation in the process.
What it is now, it's the women. It ain't the men no more. The women gone bad. The women's gone bad. It ain't the men's now. It's the women done gone bad.
You gonna flip the script on us?
Yeah, it's the women done gone bad.
You a woman yourself.
And this is what she said. She said, "You're a woman yourself." And that's called groupthink, guys. That's called groupthink. She said, "You're a woman yourself." That's called groupthink. That is groupthink in a nutshell. That's groupthink. Groupthink means we all think the same. Groupthink means there's no accountability. Groupthink means we all think the same. And groupthink means that there is no accountability. See, women like this elderly woman espouse shame. Shame was part of the Black collective and the Black experience and the American experience in the past. There are some that say or postulate that shame is unhealthy, and I radically disagree with that. There are 2 types of shame. There's healthy shame, and then there is unhealthy shame. As a licensed therapist, healthy shame is important for the stabilization of healthy societies and civilizations. It was healthy shame that pushed communities into greatness. But unhealthy shame is tied to narcissism, manipulation, and trying to control a person and trying to get outcomes at the expense of another person. But we all shall have healthy shame because according to theology says that some will rise to shame and contempt when they stand before the Most High. Those that work and put in work, it builds a healthy self-esteem, it builds integrity, and it builds a work ethic. But we live in a world now where people don't want to be shamed for bad behavior, and that's why so much chaos and dysfunction. Once again, healthy shame that's not tied into manipulation, and then unhealthy shame that is tied into manipulation. And this elder is from a time in a generation where they espoused healthy shame.
I'm a woman myself, but I don't do half the things I see these women do now.
They don't care no more.
That's mean the men don't respect them. That's why. Let me tell you something, Amber. You got to give them.
Now listen to what this elder said. She said, that's why the men don't respect them. Not respect, but respect them. Shout out to the elder. You got a generation of women that want to be treated special, want a man to pay all bills, and I'm gonna show you guys the video clip in a minute. Want a man to put his life on the line, want a man to take care of other men's offsprings, but they bring nothing of value to a relationship. Some of you men settle for this kind of behavior because you've been shamed in a bad way into bad relationships. If a woman is emotionally unavailable, she's anxious, avoiding attachment. If she tells you, if a woman uses the word real man, you need to run, because real man is code word for I'm trying to control you and force you to do something against your value system. I'm trying to force you to do something against your value system. When my mother passed away in May, part of my pain was I realized that we're never going back to yesterday. If you were born in the late 60s or the early 70s, it was a different time to be alive. Not saying the 60s was perfect, not saying that the 70s were perfect, not saying they weren't doing dirt back then as well, because there's nothing new under the sun. But back then it was more shame. They were more discreet, and they didn't have the level of entitlement that modern women have now. There were more intact two-parent homes. Back in the 70s, about 26% of Black families were not intact, meaning kids were born into out of wedlock, were born to single-parent homes. Now, over 72% of Black kids are born in single-parent homes. It's not just Black folks; it's an American issue. It tends to be overrepresented in Black homes and communities, but it's in white families, and it's also in Latin communities as well. So there was a high level of respect. Um, there was a high level of viability. We know that religion has not always been the panacea. But see, the problem with people that always attack religion, they don't look at religion through the lens of a fair and a rational perspective. They look at religion through what's called confirmation bias. Confirmation bias means they cannot objectively look at the pros and the cons of religion and how religion helps shape society. Confirmation bias says I'm going to look at religion through a negative lens, and I'm going to only focus on the negative aspects of religion instead of looking at the whole part and looking at the whole picture. And we all sometimes struggle periodically with a condition called confirmation bias. But you got a generation of men and women both. They got multiple kids by multiple women. Uh, they don't take care of their responsibilities. You got a bunch of women having a bunch of baby daddies. You got a generation, a percentage of men having a bunch of baby mamas. Uh, they don't believe in family. They don't believe in community. And so when they get in relationships, because they've had so much fun prior, they have a hard time not getting bored in relationships because they got too much experience. If you had too much experience and you've experienced too many things, there's no novelty to that relationship. And the problem now is that there's not enough novelty. That's why they're getting bored. And this elder is correct. The reason why men don't respect women because they don't respect themselves. There was a time that a woman would not give her body to a man without making him earn her body, or putting a ring on her finger, or if they were not in a committed relationship. Women give their body away like it's nothing now. And after giving their bodies to multiple men, then they want to turn around and be treated special like a woman that valued her body. Look how convoluted that is. And because some of these men are raised in single parent homes, they have low self-esteem because they have not been taught how to have standards and conditions that are beneficial to heteronormative masculinity. Everything and all things now, if it's not within the lens of some liberal, is always chided and always been minimized. And that's why so much community disintegration now. That's why there's so much family brokenness now, because things are not in the lens of true heteronormative masculinity. And this woman is correct. A lot of men are not given respect in their homes. You got a generation of women that have been taught not to respect men. They weren't taught by the mothers. They don't see it in the broader society. They respect everybody else, but they don't see no value in respecting a man. They don't respect them. Kids now don't even respect their fathers. They'll talk about how they love God and how they love Jesus, and they'll look right past the part of the scripture that says, honor that father and honor that mother. They don't respect leadership. They don't respect anything. If it doesn't agree with their emotions, they look right past it. And they pick and choose part of the scripture they want to live by. It's called a la carte Christianity. But they don't give a man respect. They don't understand the heart of a man. because many come in broken. I've known men that stay in relationships after their wives have cheated on them. It would never be me, even if I did dirt myself. And some might say it's a double standard. Yes, it's a double standard. It's double standards for both sexes. But if you've been with another man, even if I did my dirt, it's over. You don't have to stay with me either. I'm going to end it. But it's a generation where men can't have sovereignty in their homes. They're constantly minimizing their integrity as a man, and they're constantly placating to emotional women that have not been trained to have what's called emotional regulation or emotional intelligence. This elder is from a time where women had emotional regulation and also emotional regulation, but also emotional conditioning.
Man respect to get respect. You know what I'm saying? You got to give your husband respect to get respect.
Most men in this room and most online will tell you that.
Let me tell you something, guys. I love women like this because there was a time when older women taught younger women that. This gentleman said something that I've always said before in the past about the bride waiting for the bridegroom. We live in a world where men have been conditioned to think that a woman is on a pedestal and he should always placate or put her above the stars. But what men don't understand is that women psychologically are wired to look up to a man. So if you put a woman on a pedestal, eventually she's going to look down to you and she can't respect you. Respect you. And so the church has caused a lot of disruption, even though I believe the church has the power to preach the amplified word of God and to tell the truth. But most women that get married, they don't get married coming in with a mindset to serve. They get married coming in with a mindset for that man to serve them. They see the marriage as a day to celebrate them instead of seeing that marriage as a day. I'm seeing that marriage as a day to celebrate her being under the leadership of her husband. Because to be honest with you, the man is the master prize. The woman is his special prize. The bride, she prepared herself for the bridegroom. The groom did prepare himself for the bride. That's backwards. The bride was waiting for the bridegroom to betroth her. She was waiting on instructions from the father so that the father can give the daughter over to the bridegroom. But see, you got a generation of women now, they don't respect the father. They don't respect the admonition of the father. They don't respect the adulation of the father. They don't show any forms of adulation for the father. They only respect their emotions and their selfish needs and what they deem to be best for them. And that's why, guys, we have so much family and community disruption now. That's why when people talk about black love can never happen until we consent and ask black men what they want of all men, white men or black men. You can't have love without consent. And consent means to ask permission to the next person, what do you want out of me in this relationship? The church has done an inadequate job of teaching the importance of respected men and respected male leadership. That's why a lot of black men don't see any benefits to going to church anymore. They don't see any benefit to going to church anymore because the church has not properly amplified a heteronormative gospel. And that's why so many men are indifferent to theology and religion, even though they respect and understand and embrace parts of the Bible, because parts of the Bible actually affirms masculinity, but it's not being amplified in the broader church.
All of their life, they have been the last thing to be considered. Everything comes before man. We even got statements like ladies first, happy wife. And even parents teach their sons, let them go first. And so in every step of his life, he's always last. Women get in the club for free. Now we got to buy bottles at $1,500 a pop so all of the women can drink for free. Remember when I read the text didn't say we were made for y'all. The Bible says she was made for him. And by the way, if you go and look in the Old Testament, whenever
you look in the Old Testament, not only did women show a high reverence to the elders by deferring to the elders, according to the scripture, Sarah called Abraham her Lord. There are cultures, guys, right now where the women have high reverence for the men in their lives. Before they get that man last name and get a ring, they actually bow in respect, not like they're slaves, but they bow in honor and reverence to the authority of that man's leadership. They bow out of respect to that man. But see, you got a lot of men, they're bowing to the emotional whims of a woman in their relationship. They bow to the emotional whims of a woman. They lose their sovereignty as men. Sovereignty means to forever reign and to be the leader in that environment, also in that situation. Not compromising his sovereignty for the sake of her emotions and also for the sake of her manipulation. He stands firm in his values. He stands firm in his principles. He does not waver in his convictions as a man. But see, the church now doesn't teach that kind of theology, even though it's clear in the church. It's very clear. Shout out to my man Quiet Faith for that $10 super chat. He said women and children don't respect fathers because the government, because of the government's long-standing persecution of husbands and fathers. I think men that respect themselves can only walk away given the laws. I agree with you 100% on Quiet Faith. I don't believe that men should get married in modern times. There's no benefit for a man getting married in modern times. I don't see the benefit overall because it's too much of a compromise of power in order for a healthy, rational, logical man to get his needs met. A man that gets married in this day and age, he does it at his own expense unless he gets a comprehensive, airtight prenup. And even getting a comprehensive, airtight prenup in some states is not valid. You will lose your life and lose your mental wellness trying to debate and argue with the typical modern woman now. Once again, emotionally unavailable, highly selfish and solipsistic, trauma from being with so many men, and the lack of the amplification of Christian theology in the church. Right, it's more of a contract than a covenant. Yes, sir. It is more a contract than it is a covenant. Because a covenant said, for better or for worse, to death do us part. Let me tell you, man, something. I remember back in the day, before a woman got married to a man or betrothed to a man, it was said to honor and obey her husband. But see, modern women now are not equipped to be wives because they have not been trained to be wives. They have not been conditioned to be wives. The church doesn't preach the gospel the way it should be preached. Why do you think Islamic communities tend to be a lot more stronger? Even though I don't believe in Islam. Those women are trained and raised to honor and respect their men. You got churches now that are full of women. You got a bunch of churches now that more or less, I'm trying to see if I can find it. They got women that call themselves bishops. And we know that that's not biblical. It's nothing biblical about a woman being a bishop over a man. But you see it now. You see it now, and you can't say nothing. They're bishops now. They're bishops, or they call themselves bishops in the house of God. They call themselves bishops. There is no masculine church. The only thing you see now is a bunch of women, children, effeminate men, and men that are married. And they do not preach true biblical authority as it relates to true masculinity. They don't preach it anymore. But they wonder why black men don't go to church. Masculine black men are not going to church to be sitting under women screaming and hollering and trying to teach them. I'm not saying that women can't have a part in the ecclesiastical order, but women weren't supposed to teach men. It's out of order. And a lot of it's a bunch of emotionalism and nonsense. I grew up in a Pentecostal church, but most people are not equipped to teach the gospel or to preach the gospel or the pastor. A lot of folks now get into religion because it's a money grab. It's a way to bolster their fragile ego. They were never called by God. They do it because it helps them feel good about themselves. But when you point out objective theology, then they get upset, they get mad, and they rage quit.
Man and woman was married in the Old Testament. A woman stood at the altar and the man walked down the aisle. But now here comes, if you don't believe me.
I've always said that, guys, there was a term that I created called the prize catcher. The man is the prize catcher. The woman is his catch, and he is the prize. When the man presents the woman before the world, he tells all his men and dignitaries, this is my prize, because she is bone of my bone, flesh of my flesh. But when the woman walks and have the last name of a man, the woman says, well, actually, the woman is his catch. The woman is his, well, the man is, okay. The woman is his prize, and she see the husband as her catch. He's the prize catcher. The man is the prize catcher. She see him as the master prize. He sees her as his special prize. She's been caught because she got his last name. She's been caught because now she got provision. She's been caught because now she got protection. And when she stands before that man, she shows him honor and dignity. So many men will never know what it's like to be loved by a woman, to be honored by a woman, to be respected by a woman. But we got a generation of folks now that are highly rebellious. Women, a lot of women, those that even call themselves believers in the church, are highly rebellious. They don't follow orthodoxy. They don't follow faith. They don't follow scripture. They don't honor their ancestors. They don't respect ancestors. They don't respect nobody but themselves. And they take the scripture, they twist it to accommodate their feelings or to accommodate their ego. And that's called cognitive dissonance. Quiet face, they're very true. Our churches do not help order or household in scripture. I totally agree. They don't espouse order. I will argue that what I'm teaching folks is more consistent with theology, even though it's a part of it. But once again, you got a bunch of folks now that, because of the church being corrupt, did they falsely equivocate the message or the orthodoxy of scripture with being invalid, where that's not true at all. Just because you got false prophets and false teachers and fake pastors, that does not invalidate the word of God. That's why I don't get shocked when preachers compromise or preachers lie, or when people are caught up in scandals. It looks bad for the whole body of Christ, but I don't take it personal because I was never following man in the first place. When Jimmy Swagger fell, I didn't stop loving God or reading my Bible because of them. I'm not serving no dumb, fallible man. I would never relinquish my sovereignty to a mortal man like me. But a lot of people do.
The church is the bride, and Jesus is the groom. And the last I saw, the church is here waiting on the groom to come. So if you want us to love you like God loved the church, why are we always doing the waiting?
So I was thinking.
This is the third type of woman, guys, or the last type of woman that you got to run from. The first type was highly selfish. The second type was emotionally unavailable. The third type is not understanding biblical authority and biblical leadership. That was the third type. She doesn't understand biblical order and biblical leadership. But the worst of the four is the one that's been severely ran through. She can't love you. She can never love you. It's not in her nature to love you. Especially if you can't match the man that she was attracted to or match the man that gave her the same vigor in the bedroom. I didn't say it. This woman said it.
So if you want us to love you like God loved the church, why are we always doing the waiting?
So I was thinking about like how hard it is to find true love. And I came to the conclusion it's because we all had sex before marriage and we're a bunch of whores.
I mean, she said it, no lies detected. And it's hard to find true love. Like I said before, the reason why folks, men and women, but mostly women come into relationships now bored and being in housing with people because they've had too much experience before they got married. If you've explored all the things that were supposed to be sacred in your marriage, by the time you get married, what's special about it? It's not special now about the average marriage or the typical marriage. Nothing is special about it. What's special about it? What's special about it? Most men, if they've seen one vagina, they've seen multiple vaginas. There was a time when a woman came into a relationship back in the past. If a man saw a woman that didn't have clothes on, it was intense because it was rare and it was hidden. So it had a high level of suspense. But now, women don't cover themselves up. They give their bodies to multiple men. Men now don't have standards. So what's special about it? Because once again, these are the 4 types of dating mistakes to avoid in 2025 and beyond.
That's exactly what it is. Just a bunch of whores. All of us.
That's all I've been saying. Because that's what most of you are. Whores. Y'all had sex before marriage. You're having different dudes in and out of you with your body holes. Those men who've been in and out of you, your body holds their DNA, which affects your DNA, your energy, and all this shit y'all be talking about, which makes a lot of y'all crazy and not see things correctly.
And I call it the 3-hit rule. I call it the 3-hit rule. A lot of these women, once you put that DNA inside of them, man, it's a wrap, man. Once you put that DNA inside of them, it's a wrap. The chances of them being able to be healthy and wholesome in a relationship is greatly reduced. It's greatly reduced. But people wonder why. They wonder why relationships don't work in this day and age in 2020.
I see things in the way you're supposed to see things. Because you got all that shit in you.
Excuse the language.
This is real, ladies. This is so real.
Excuse the language.
Y'all want to believe it or not. Because the outcomes show it. Versus now. Versus back then when women valued their bodies. And
let me tell you something, guys. I'm from Gen X. I'm from a time when women did value their bodies more. Where relationships were better. They weren't perfect, but they were better. But what's special about the typical American woman is nothing. Over-sexualized, overly entitled, don't have a heart of a servant, a bunch of trauma, don't want to serve, highly arrogant, put emotions over the relationship, see the man as a means to an end, planned obsolescence. And this guy's saying what I said to what other men have saw in the past. You're not getting nothing special now. Like I said, I'm not against relationships. I'm not against marriage. If you can find a good, solid woman, are there some remnant women that are left? Yes. They're like a needle in a haystack. They're a needle in a needle stack. They're called a diamond in the rough. She's a remnant woman. They're hard to find. Shout out to all my Gen X people. But it's hard to find quality. If you're from Gen X, you remember a time when men and women used to date and serenade one another. It wasn't perfect. Once again, it wasn't perfect. It was not perfect about relationships back in the 90s, in the late 80s and early 90s. They weren't perfect. Women were sneaky back then too. They were getting it in, but they were a lot better than women now. They were not overly materialistic. Going on a coffee date was normal. Taking her out for ice cream was normal. Going for a walk in the park was cool. Her cooking him a meal was cool.
Holding their body sacred, being pure, untainted. y'all are mostly unpure, tainted women out here. It's mostly what you are. And expecting the expectations of women who have held their bodies sacred and not been unpure and tainted.
Let me tell you, men, something. Women won't change unless men raise the standards. Men have to raise the standards for what they want in a relationship. You know, there was a song by the OJ's guys back in the day, and it said, "Got to give the people what they want." That's what the song said back in the day with the OJ's. It says, "Gotta give the people what they want." If men would start raising their standards and saying, "You're not going to shame me if we get serious and deep into the relationship, and I ask you how many bodies you got. You're not going to shame me because that's my standard." Or if a man say that you're going to sign a prenup, or if a man say if you got too many, listen, men got to start raising their standards because the world won't change until men change their standards. It's not going to happen in this lifetime. I don't see it. We need to start rewarding good women. We need to start rewarding women that are wholesome. We need to stop shaming women that are wholesome women and that are striving to do the right thing, and also men that are striving to do the right thing.
You can't expect that, ladies. Just saying. It's not reality. Just saying. The more bodies you have, I've noticed the crazier a woman is. The more delulu a woman is, the more bodies she has. You can't help. I'm quite sure I'm not the only one who's noticed this. Women who don't have a lot of bodies, if you run across any,
There have been studies to substantiate and justify. Guys, do me a favor, share the stream, hit the like button. I'm going to end the stream in a minute. But there have been studies to justify and to substantiate this. Women that have had a lot of fun are less apt to be happy in a relationship than women that have had less fun with multiple men. Can you imagine a woman that had all different sizes of phalluses, and now she wants you to see her as special, put a ring on her finger? You know, this can lead to, once again, avoiding attachment styles, anxious avoiding attachment styles, or for some, because they're the last stages of relationships, to having what's called an anxious attachment. Right. Right, the analytic pragmatist. Right. I'd rather take the cheap code, get my passport. I don't blame you. Not saying women over there are perfect either, but you got a whole lot better chance abroad.
it's a difference in y'all. Y'all may not want to admit this shit, but us men see it. It's a difference in y'all. I'm just saying.
And one of these guys that the fourth type of woman is the woman that don't want you to understand what your value is. Emotionally unavailable, highly selfish, emotionally unavailable, highly selfish, promiscuous, don't understand biblical authority and reverence for men. And it's women like this woman that finds out the hard way about the importance of having a quality man. They found out the hard way.
Loyal. Oh, loyal. If you got some man like that.
Let me tell you something. I will argue that it's a whole lot easier to find quality men that understand the assignment than women that understand the assignment. Shout out to my man Quiet Faith, because he's the #1 sponsor of the stream. He said, imagine installing Windows 10 and then installing updates from the Apple operating system. It crashes the system. The self-deletion rate of corn actors is indicative of severe damage. Yes, it is. It was never designed for that. Intimacy was supposed to be with one person. Let me tell you, I've taken a step farther, Quiet Faith. I remember a time where women from the old school, they had one man, when their husband would die or go by the way of the grave, when they would go by the way of the grave, quiet faith, those women would die. And they would die because they hadn't been with a lot of men. But when you get all that DNA inside of you, all that emotional trauma and baggage, knowing what it's like to be dominated by certain types, you can't go to an average man if you had that much experience. So they're overly sexualized and have over experience. And because of that, they have different attachment styles. And you're right, Quiet Faith. That's true. I witnessed many of them. I promise you, Quiet Faith. I'm not saying I'm advocating fornication, but the times you fornicated with women, by the time you put your DNA in those women, were they not different once you put your DNA in them? Yes or no? Because I promise you, once you put your DNA in them, they're different. Then they're no longer the same, almost like they're mutants to some degree. But they say your past don't matter, which is dumb because your past does matter. A woman got a right to know a man's past, and a man got a right to know a woman's past, especially if you get closer to the relationship. But the reason why they try to shame you is because they know their past is horrible. The greatest fear of women, a lot of modern women, is that you realize what your value is as a man. Good women understand that. Quality women understand what it's like to be with a quality man. They understand it, and they also embrace it. They understand it, they embrace it, and they also respect it. So her greatest fear is that you're going to wake up and know what your value is, know what your worth is. That's her greatest fear.
Please, do the work. Be appreciative and be grateful. Don't be entitled. Do kind and nice things for him.
Listen to what this woman is saying. This woman is saying the same thing that I've said. Be nice and be kind to him. They're not nice and kind to men. They come in with an attitude, arrogance, and entitlement. If you know that you're a good man, that you've done the work, you have a good heart, don't you ever compromise your standards as a man. Her greatest fear is that you'll open your eyes up and realize what your value is. That's her greatest fear.
Don't just be a taker. Give back. Respect him. Oh, respect him. Because that man, baby, he gone. He with a new woman. And she looked happy as hell. She looked happy as I did when I was with him. I'm happy for her. You live, you learn. But I'm here to tell you, you guys always say, oh, there's no good men that don't exist. They exist, but they are rare. And if they came into your life, take this message as go get some therapy, go get some help, go heal, go work on yourself, and pour back into that man, because a good man will wake up one day. Good men are not blinded to the fact that they are a wonderful person to be with. They just love your ass. And when they,
I don't think good men are rare. Quality women nurture their husband's values. A respected husband is easily contrasted from an exploited man. I totally agree. A quality man, quality women nurture their husband's value. Right. Her job is to protect his mind. A respected husband is easily contrasted from an exploited husband. Right. An exploited man is very compromised. He's broken. His testosterone is low. He's not motivated to go and provide and protect because he's constantly putting fires out.
love you, they stay and they stay and they stay and they stay because they hoping you will get it together one day. They're not staying with you because they don't know that they're a good man and they may not be able to get anything else. Oh, baby, he know. He counting down on your clock. He counting down on your clock. So work on yourself. Don't lose no good man, because I'm going to tell you, they are rare. And since I've been out here in these streets, it ain't nothing for me in these streets.
You know what the danger is, guys? A lot of good men have turned to bad men based on being disrespected. It's a dangerous thing when a good man turns to a bad man. When he turns to a vampire. It's a bad thing when he turns to a vampire. He was good in the past, and now he's a vampire. And a lot of these men have turned to vampires. They were good, but now they're broken and they're doing all kinds of damage. And that's why I tell you, man, once you know what your worth is, you don't get mad, you don't compromise your worth, you don't even negotiate your worth. You don't compromise your worth, and you don't negotiate your worth. You just make adjustments.
They all trash. That's all. That's the tea. That's the word. I hope I can help somebody today.
All right, guys, listen. We're going to end it here, an hour and 6 minutes in. Thank you to Quiet Faith, as he's the #1 sponsor of the stream. The analytical practice that says facts and many men has changed. They have. Guys, share the stream. Share the stream, please. Shout out to Quiet Faith, as he is the #1 sponsor of this stream. Shout out to Quiet Faith. Shout out to Gregory Scotland for tapping in. We're going to end it here, guys, in a minute. But shout out to you guys that tuned in. I'm not going to be up here long because I got things to do. But I did want to do a quick show. And once again, shout out to Quiet Faith. He's the #1 sponsor. Shout out to Quiet Faith. He's the #1 sponsor. Shout out to that brother for showing love on today, the #1 sponsor. And guys, once again, the 4 dating mistakes to avoid in 2025, why she can never love you, and how you should move accordingly. Guys, thank you for tuning in. And this has been another message of the man who chronicles. And shout out to all the good, righteous women that are striving to do the right thing as well. The analytical prayer, he says, especially black men, we have changed and we're not saving the community. Peace, Kevin Samuels and brothers, no doubt. I appreciate it, brother. Thank you, sir.
I know I've been quiet for a minute, I've been grinding, still in it, I've been counting these digits, excuse me. I know I've been quiet for a minute, but I'm back on my business. If you see me, don't trip, just excuse me. Wrong if I do, wrong if I don't. That's why I do me no matter what, so excuse me. Lie if I do, lie if I don't. The proof is in the story, take a seat and excuse me. The crash came when the cash came. Spend it before you get it, like those rookies all on draft day. For the love like it's match game. Hit the ground running, really do it for my last name. They act different when the facts change. I'm not with the tip for tag games. In my own league, I don't chase game. In my own league, I don't hang with lame. I know I've been quiet for a minute, I've been grinding, still in it, I've been counting these digits, excuse me. I know I've been quiet for a minute, but I'm back on my business. If you see me, don't trip, just excuse me. Wrong if I do, wrong if I don't. That's why I do me no matter what, so excuse me. Lie if I do, lie if I don't. The proof is in the story, take a seat and excuse me. Now how could that be? Talking about who can be talking about me. Feeling like stretch where I got all this reach. Feeling too blessed when I step on these beats. Now how could that be? I could beat the pressure, I could beat the 2-3. Jab, jab, hook, then I duck and I weave. It was never you, it was me versus me. I know I've been quiet for a minute, I've been grinding, still in it, I've been counting these digits, excuse me. I know I've been quiet for a minute, but I'm back on my business. If you see me, don't trip, just excuse me. Wrong if I do, wrong if I don't. That's why I do me no matter what, so excuse me. Lie if I do, lie if I don't. The proof is in the story, take a seat and excuse me. Batter up, get some. Swinging for the fences, I might leave it in the sun. Every pitch a home run. Stack a couple tickets just to leave it to my son. Take it back while I begun. Small city kid, couldn't dream a bigger one. A marathon, never run. Check the scoreboard, how I'm feeling like I won. I know I've been quiet for a minute. I've been grinding, still in it. I've been counting these digits. Excuse me. I know I've been quiet for a minute, but I'm back on my business. If you see me, don't trip, just excuse me. Wrong if I do, wrong if I don't. That's why I do me no matter what, so excuse me. Lie if I do, lie if I don't. The proof is in the story, take a seat and excuse me.
Fire for your mind. The Kosher Clinician.